Hey, Nic Peterson. Here, let me share this into the group, Profit, Control, and Freedom, real quick. Because that's where I put all the good stuff, right? Profit, control, and freedom. I'm going to talk about the illusion of speed being the end all for companies, the end all be all. There's a lot of people say, hey, I buy speed over everything. That's how you succeed as an entrepreneur. There's a little caveat to that, and I want to break that down. There's also this illusion or this myth that an entrepreneur's life looks like this, right? With the end goal, you start here, we end here, and the whole freaking journey looks like this. What's up, AJ? The whole journey looks like this, and that's an illusion. It's inaccurate. It doesn't have to. That might actually happen, but there's a reason why. So let's start with speed, okay? Because we get in a point. Let's say this is our comfort zone. We have this comfort zone, and we're actually going to flip it around. Being in this circle is our discomfort zone, right? So maybe this is we're around a lot of people, or our revenue is low, or we're not making sales, or whatever. We have this discomfort zone, and we're in that discomfort zone. The closer we get to the center, the more we want to get out of there as fast as possible, right? And we bias speed. That's where a lot of the speed comes from when people talk about, oh, we got to turn around sales fast. Let's go. Speed, speed, speed. Act now, figure it out later, whatever. Here's the problem. We are so worried about getting out of our circle of discomfort so quickly that we don't even care what direction we go. Like, we're out. Now, what if our company mission and our vision lies over here? We've gotten further away. Now we have to go a roundabout way to get there, which is not faster. Okay, just because you're moving faster doesn't mean you're getting to your destination faster. Or we have to go back right through the center of our zone of discomfort, right? So speed without direction is very, very dangerous. It's an insidious way of thinking, right? To say that I bias speed over everything, because speed, moving quickly in the wrong direction or moving quickly in a big circle, you don't actually get anywhere. It's the illusion of accomplishing things, right? And so think about when you go, I bias speed over everything, add in the vector component, which is the direction you're going, how far from your starting point, because we could very well just move very quickly in a big circle, right? So just think about that. Optimize for velocity. Now, what does that mean? That means that because we do that, ready, fire, aim, speed, 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 we have these crazy ups and downs, these peaks and valleys, right? These these glorious rises and precipitous falls. And that's not necessary, because you can move really, really fast like this. Like, look how fast I'm moving. Look how far I got. Not very far, right? Where we become intentional about our direction, we might be moving slower, but our entrepreneur journey looks like this. Not a lot of wasted motion. And all that effort gets us here. Whereas if we're moving very, very quickly without direction, right, all over the fucking place, we might completely exhaust ourselves and end up here, right? So think about this journey. Oftentimes when people say what entrepreneurship really looks like, ups, highs, lows, yada, yada, yada. That's true. That's all of life, though. All of life looks like that. It is very, very natural. It's the unique disposition of entrepreneurs to try things first and figure it out later, which is why it looks like this. But if we take a moment and we are intentional about what we're optimizing for, are we optimizing to get away from point A, which is what most entrepreneurs are doing, or are we optimizing to get to point B? Because the action steps are very, very different. We could get away from point A and further away from point B at the same time. And this is just 2 dimensions. There's a third dimension too, right? So now just be aware that as entrepreneurs, we bias speed, but we are often trying to get away from the uncomfortable thing, which means no matter which direction we go, we are relieving our own stress. We feel like we're making progress. The issue is, once that dust settles, we often find out we went further away from our destination. Okay, let's say destination is here. We are here and we're uncomfortable. We want to get out of here as fast as possible. I bias speed. And so we just take off that way and we feel like we accomplished a lot because we got away from our discomfort. But we did not accomplish getting closer to point B. So this entrepreneurial roller coaster that people talk about is often a lack of clarity, and they're often optimizing for the wrong thing. They're not aware of it, right? Because we think if we get away from our pain, we get closer to pleasure. But if pleasure's over here and we go that way, we're actually getting further away from our destination. So optimize for velocity over speed, right? You can move very, very, very fast in a big old circle and you haven't made it very far, right? And really become intentional about the end goal, because a lot of times we got to get away from where we're at as fast as possible. Okay. And then, we got to get away from here as fast as possible. And then and that's where this roller coaster entrepreneur journey. And I've been there. I've been through it. That's my freaking natural disposition. I freaking invented the roller coaster, I feel like. But it's not necessary. It is not a prerequisite to be a successful entrepreneur. Okay. The thing is, all of that effort that you spend doing this can easily be directed to a straight line from point A to point B. It really can be. Okay. So if you still think speed is everything, you might want to check to make sure you are not quickly, very, very, very fast, moving in a big circle or moving away from the ultimate end goal. We have people that say, I want to make enough money to spend time with my family. And they move so fastly and they take on, or so quickly, and they move fast. They got speed. They take on all this work, and every step they take is getting them further and further away from having free time, because they bias speed and everything's happening fast, and they never stop and think, am I moving fast in the right direction? And that is where all these stories of burnout come from. This is where all these stories about hitting an income ceiling and just all these like entrepreneurial roller coaster stories, they're not BS. It does happen, but it doesn't have to. There is no reason to go on this roller coaster if you're just intentional and you bias the concept of moving in a straight line, which is not our natural state as entrepreneurs. We like to try all kinds of stuff, but if we adopt this, right? So I have a CEO, a COO, and we develop this process that we're going to share soon. It doesn't look like this. It's not a linear perfect, right? But it also doesn't have to look like this. Our process kind of looks like this. Steadily, always, every step we take is one step closer to the destination. And the speed might be lower, but the velocity is greater, right? Because we're not doing this really fast. It is just our speed might be a little bit slower, but the distance we are covering is far greater. So think about that. That's all I got for you. Velocity.